They led armies, conquered kingdoms, and defied expectations. Yet history barely remembers them. While names like Joan of Arc and Mulan are celebrated, countless female warriors shaped history but never got the recognition they deserved. Today, we uncover the stories of 10 legendary female warriors whose bravery, strategy, and sheer combat skill rivaled even the greatest male generals of their time. From Viking shield maidens to samurai warriors, their battles changed the course of history, yet their names remain hidden in the shadows. Let's shine a light on these forgotten legends. Number 10. Tomoe Gozen, the fearless samurai of Japan. Imagine a warrior so skilled that even her enemies feared to face her. Tomoe Gozen was that warrior. Born in 12th century Japan, she was a samurai general serving under Minamoto no Yoshinaka during the Genpei War. She wasn't just any fighter. Tomoe was a master of the katana, archery, and horseback combat. Historical accounts describe her as strikingly beautiful, but utterly ruthless on the battlefield. One of her most legendary moments? During the Battle of Awazu in 1184, as her army crumbled, she beheaded a samurai leader with a single strike before vanishing from history. Some say she was captured. Others believe she walked away, choosing a life of peace. But one thing is certain, Tomoe Gozen was no ordinary warrior. Number 9. Lagertha, the Viking shield maiden who defied kings. Vikings were known for their brutal raids, but among them stood Lagertha, a fierce shield maiden whose battle skills were unmatched. According to legend, she fought alongside the legendary Viking Ragnar Lothbrok, even saving his life in battle. After Ragnar's betrayal, she didn't fade into obscurity. She built her own army and later conquered Norway. Ancient texts describe her as a warrior with the courage of a man. But history shows she was far more than that. She was a leader, a tactician, and a conqueror in her own right. Number 8. Boudica, the warrior queen, who defied Rome. In 60 AD, the mighty Roman Empire learned a painful lesson. Never underestimate a mother seeking revenge. When the Romans invaded Britain, they humiliated Queen Boudica of the Iceni tribe, publicly flogging her and violating her daughters. Big mistake. Fueled by rage, Boudica united the British tribes and waged a war that nearly drove the Romans out of Britain. Her forces burned entire cities to the ground, including Londinium, modern-day London. Though ultimately defeated, Boudica's name became a legend, and her rebellion shook the very foundation of the Roman Empire. Number 7. Artemisia I, the Persian naval commander who outsmarted the Greeks. Most warriors command armies. Artemisia I commanded an entire navy. During the 5th century BC Greco-Persian Wars, she fought for King Xerxes, leading her fleet against the Greek forces. Despite being outnumbered, she outmaneuvered the enemy, earning respect even from her foes. Her most legendary moment? During the Battle of Salamis, she tricked the Greek navy by ramming one of her own allied ships, making it look like she had switched sides. The Greeks fell for it, letting her escape unscathed. Even Xerxes himself admitted she was the most capable commander in his fleet. Number 6. Lozen, the Apache warrior and shield of her people. Lozen was more than just a warrior. She was a legend among the Apache people. Born in the 19th century, she fought alongside her brother, Chief Victorio, against Mexican and American forces. Known as a tactical genius and fearless warrior, she could predict enemy movements, a skill her people considered almost mystical. One of her most daring acts? She once led a group of women and children across the Rio Grande, alone, while armed enemies patrolled the area. She later joined the famous Apache leader Geronimo, fighting until the bitter end. To this day, Lozen remains one of the most respected Native American warriors in history. Number 5. Nakano Takeko, the last samurai woman. During the Boshin War of 1868, Japan's samurai era was coming to an end. But one warrior refused to accept defeat, Nakano Takeko. A master of the naginata, a deadly polearm weapon, she led an all-female samurai battalion, fighting against modern rifle-wielding troops. Despite the odds, she personally took down multiple soldiers before taking a fatal bullet to the chest. Rather than let her enemies claim her head as a trophy, she ordered her sister to behead her, ensuring her honor remained intact. Her last stand is still remembered in Japan today. Number 4. Queen Nzinga, the warrior queen who outsmarted the Portuguese. When European forces invaded Africa in the 17th century, many rulers surrendered. Queen Nzinga of Ndongo and Matamba? She fought back. For over 40 years, she used guerrilla warfare, diplomacy, and psychological tactics to fight off the Portuguese slave traders. She even formed alliances with the Dutch to keep her people free. One legendary story? When Portuguese officials refused to offer her a chair during negotiations, she sat on the back of one of her men, refusing to be disrespected. Her defiance saved her kingdom, proving that she was more than just a queen. She was a warrior. Number 3. Ching Shih, the pirate queen who ruled the South China Sea. Imagine a pirate so feared that even the Chinese Navy refused to fight her. That was Ching Shih, the most powerful pirate of the 19th century. After inheriting her late husband's fleet, she took command of some 800 ships and over 70,000 men, enforcing strict laws that kept her forces loyal. Her dominance was so overwhelming that when China, Britain, and Portugal all failed to defeat her, the Chinese government offered her a peace deal, allowing her to retire in wealth, something no pirate in history had ever achieved. Number 2. Khutulun, the Mongol warrior who defeated every man she fought. A descendant of Genghis Khan, Khutulun was a warrior princess who never lost a single wrestling match, even against the strongest Mongol men. Her father promised she'd only marry a man who could defeat her. None ever did. On the battlefield, she fought alongside her father, capturing enemies single-handedly and leading Mongol warriors into battle. She was so respected that Marco Polo wrote about her, calling her the fiercest warrior of the Mongol Empire. Number 1. Zenobia, the rebel queen. Who took on Rome? Zenobia didn't just fight Rome. She nearly ended Roman rule in the East. As Queen of Palmyra in the 3rd century AD, she launched a rebellion that saw her conquer Egypt, Syria, and parts of Anatolia, declaring her own empire. She ruled as an equal to Rome, even minting coins with her face on them. Her forces held out for years until the Romans finally captured her. Even in captivity, Zenobia refused to be broken. Her name still echoes through history as one of Rome's greatest threats. Conclusion. These women weren't just warriors, they were legends. Their courage, leadership, and tactical brilliance shaped history, yet most history books barely mention them. But now you know their names. Who do you think was the most legendary? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories of history's greatest warriors.